crowded nights, roar of the field burning bright, shadows clash in the fading night. Student body rise, student body fight. Feel the surge, feel the light. Run the play under the blue spotlight. Cleats on the turf, hearts in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Student Body Right. I am Ryan Knapp, your host. All things college football all the time. Right now in the second quarter, Miami Dolphins are up on the Jets 10-0. Did you enjoy this weekend's college football games? I know I did. Some interesting scores. Let's just hop to it here. Top 25 action. Number 25 BYU held on to beat Colorado. Competitive game. I tried to stay up for the whole thing. Fell asleep. Bear Bachmeier, 19-27, 179 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He also ran the ball 15 times for 98 yards. Chase Roberts, leading receiver, 5 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Jack Kelly, the leading tackler for BYU. Colorado, Caden Salter, 11-16, 119 yards, a touchdown, and threw a pick. Michael Welch, 11 carries, 67 yards. Rushing. Joseph Williams, 5 catches, 56 yards, leading tackler Tawfiq Bayard. Again, this game could have gone either way. It was back and forth. Colorado collectively 3 of 9 on third down, 0-1 on fourth down. BYU 4 of 11 on third down. They were 2 of 3 on fourth down. Turnover hurt, but BYU now goes to 4-0 overall, 1-0 in the Big 12. Colorado 2-3 overall, 0-2 in the Big 12. Keeping an eye on the game here. Again, 10-0 Dolphins. Number 22, Notre Dame. They were 22 last week anyway. They beat the shit out of Arkansas, 56-13. Mr. Sam Pittman for Arkansas, the head coach, he was fired the next day. For Notre Dame, CJ Carr, 22 of 30, 354 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. Jadarian Price, 13 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Jordan Faison, leading receiver, 7 for 89. Aiden Schuler, 9 total tackles for the Irish. For Arkansas, Taylor Green was 17 of 32, 207 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. He also ran the ball 10 times for 81 yards. He was their leading rusher. Omega Blake, 6 catches, 73 yards for Arkansas. Miguel Mitchell, 12 total tackles. Look at the team stats. Arkansas turned it over twice. Notre Dame, 0. Notre Dame won the rushing battle. They won the passing battle. 643 yards of total offense by the Irish. Therefore, hence an ass kick. 56-13. Notre Dame's 2-2. Arkansas is now 2-3. As we follow the bouncing ball here, in a surprise, I did not think after Illinois' performance against Indiana that they would beat USC, but Lincoln Riley, I don't think he'll be the coach for USC next year. It was number 21 at the time, USC, 23 at the time, Illinois. Illinois wins 34-32. USC did mount a comeback but Illinois did just enough. For USC, Jaden Maeva, 30 of 43, 364 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Wayman Jordan, 20 carries, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing. Makai Lemon, 11 catches for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns receiving. Desmond Stevens, the second, 9 total tackles for USC. For Illinois, Luke Altmaier, 20 of 26, 328 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Caden Fegan, 14 carries, 60 yards, the leading rusher for the Illini. And Colin Dixon, 4 catches for 90 yards. Leading receiver, Miles Scott, the leading tackler. Again, both teams turned it over twice. Both teams were efficient on third down. USC was 4 of 5 on fourth down. Illinois was 1 of 1 on fourth down. Evenly matched game played. Looks like my battery's going dead. On my Verizon pad. But anywho, I thought that Illinois held on for the W. They built a solid lead, and then they had to hold on to win. So USC is 4-1 overall, 2-1 in the Big Ten. Illinois 4-1 overall, 1-1 in the Big Ten. Again, as we follow the bouncing ball, number 20 Missouri beat lowly UMass 42-6. Last week, Mizzou ranked 20th at the time. Wasn't close. For Massachusetts, AJ Hairston, 11 of 31, 75 yards passing, a touchdown, a pick. Collectively, Massachusetts ran the ball 16 times for 19 yards. Leading at receiver, Jaquan Gibson at 6 receptions for 30 yards. Leading tackler was Timmy Hinspeter, 17 total tackles. For UMass, Bo Pribalu, 26 to 29, 241 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Ahmad Hardy have a day, 24 carries, 139 yards, 3 touchdowns rushing. Kevin Coleman Jr., 12 catches, 108 yards receiving. Leading receiver, Jalen Catalon, 5 total tackles for Missouri. The team stats, again, when you run the ball for 268 yards and your opponent rushes it for 19, it spells ass whooping. Missouri now 5-0 overall. This was their 5th straight home game, by the way. They don't have an October. Well, the first away game is in October, so you don't see that too often. UMass is 0-4 overall. Number 18, Vanderbilt pulled away from Utah State 55-35, 90 total points. Utah State made a game of it for a while, and then Vandy pulled away. For Utah State, Bryson Barnes was 15 of 22, 161 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Jacob Conover got some time, 11 of 14, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Utah, Javen Jacobs, 4 rushes for 63 yards, the leading rusher. Leading receiver for Utah State was Brock Lane with 7 catches for 98 yards. Utah State defense, John Miller and Noah Avinger, 12 total tackles apiece. For Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia, 26 of 34, 321 yards, 5 touchdowns and a pick. He also ran the ball 9 times for 79 yards and a touchdown. Receiving, Junior Sherrill, 6 catches, 91 yards, and 3 touchdowns receiving. Marion Sewell, 7 total tackles. We go to the team stats. Vanderbilt outrushed Utah State 225 to 119. Passing was kind of equal. Third downs were kind of equal. But again, when you're out rushing your opponents, you're going to win. I'm sure Vanderbilt not happy with the way their defense played, but nonetheless, they're 5-0 overall. Utah State now 3-2. Number 16, Georgia Tech had to come back and beat Wake Forest, final 30-29 in overtime. Hard-fought victory on Georgia Tech's part. Maybe taking Wake Forest a little too lightly. For Georgia Tech, Haynes King, 20 of 42, 243 yards, a touchdown, no picks. He also ran the ball 21 times for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was their leading rusher. That needs to change. Georgia Tech receiving, Eric Rivers, 8 catches, 77 yards and a touch. EJ Lightsey and Kyle Elford, 8 total tackles apiece. For Wake Forest, Robbie Ashford was 13 of 28, 219 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Damon Claiborne, 21 carries, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing. Micah Mays Jr., 2 catches for 65 yards. Quincy Bryant, Nick Anderson with 11 total tackles apiece. We go to the team stats. Again, evenly played all throughout. But again, Georgia Tech came back to win. Wake Forest had him on the ropes. Wake Forest let him back in, and boom, presto, alakazam. Georgia Tech with the W. Georgia Tech 5-0 overall, 2-0 in the ACC. Wake Forest 2-2 overall, 0-2 in the ACC. Valiant effort by Mississippi State, but number 15 Tennessee comes back and wins that game in overtime, 41-34. Mississippi State had them on the ropes, and then Tennessee came back. Tennessee, Joey Aguilar, 24-40, 335 yards, a touchdown, but he threw 2 picks. Deshaun Bishop, 11 carries, 72 yards and a touch. Mike Matthews and Chris Razzle II, each over 100 yards receiving. Razzle with a touchdown. Arian Carter for Tennessee's defense, 17 total tackles. For Mississippi State, Blake Shapen, 18 of 29, 180 yards, touchdown and a pick. Fluff Bothwell, the Fluffinator, 23 carries, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns rushing by Mississippi State. Just watching this, Justin Fields isn't at quarterback for the Jets. He just fumbled the ball. And Miami recovered it. Mississippi State receiving, Seydou Traore, 4 catches, 40 yards and a touchdown. Brandon Jennings, 10 total tackles. The team stats, Tennessee turned it over 3 times, Mississippi State twice. Mississippi State outrushed Tennessee. Passing was in favor of Tennessee. On paper, you look at this, Mississippi State should have won the football game, but Tennessee just made one more play than Mississippi State did. Tennessee 4-1 overall, 1-1 in the SEC play. Mississippi State 4-1 overall, 0-1 in the SEC. '14 Arizona State is for real, ladies and gentlemen. They beat the hell out of Arizona 39-14. The game wasn't close. Really wasn't. For Arizona, Noah Fafita, 32 of 48, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he threw 2 picks. Ishmael Mahdi, 13 carries, 85 yards for Arizona. Chris Hudson, 6 catches, 67 yards and a touch. Leading tackler was Dalton Johnson, 10 total tackles. For Iowa State, Rocco back to 14 of 20, 243 yards, no touchdowns and a pick. Carson Hansen, 19 carries, 63 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing. Chase Sowell for Iowa State, 4 catches, 146 yards receiving. And Caleb Bacon, 8 total tackles. Team stats, rushing yards were even, passing yards were even. Arizona turned it over twice. They were 4 of 13 on third down, fourth down efficient. They were 1 for 3. Again, if you watch the game, Iowa State had big play after big play. Arizona 3-1 overall, 0-1 in the Big 12. Iowa State 5-0, 2-0 in the Big 12. Coming up at 8:30 on the Cole County Network, which is where I'm at the Cole County Network. Coming up at 8:30, Patterson Avenue Fanatics. Go check them out. Your viewership is greatly appreciated. Iowa State right now 5-0 in the overall, 2-0 in the Big 12. Number 11, Indiana at the time, they outlast Iowa 20-15. Gutsy win, heartbreak for Iowa. For Indiana, Fernando Mendoza was 13 of 23, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Roman Hemby, 15 carries, 86 yards, leading rusher. Indiana receiving, Elijah Surratt, 6 catches, 133 yards receiving and a touch. Isaiah Jones, 8 total tackles. For Iowa, Mark Gronowski, 19 of 25, 144, no touchdowns and a pick. Kamari Moulton, 18 carries, 75 yards. Sam Phillips, their leading receiver, 5 catches, 64 yards. Cohen Entringer, 10 total tackles. We go to the team stats. Iowa turned it over twice to Indiana's 1. Rushing yards were basically even. The passing yards were basically even. Look, Indiana off turnovers, points. I was trying to look for points off turnovers here, but Indiana just outlasts Iowa. Indiana now 5-0 overall, 2-0 in the Big 10. Iowa 3-2 overall, 1-1 in Big 10 play. Number 9, Texas A&M at the time outlasts Auburn 16-10. Kind of a boring game. For Auburn, Jackson Arnold was 18 of 33, 125 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Auburn rushing collectively 24 carries and 52 yards. Receiving, Eric Singleton Jr., 5 receptions, 56 yards. Leading tackler for Auburn, Xavier Atkins, 10 total tackles. For Texas A&M, Marcel Reed, 15 of 22, 207 yards, no touchdowns and a pick. Le'Veon Moss, 21 carries, 139 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Collectively, A&M ran it 47 times for 207 yards. Receiving, KC Concepcion, 7 catches, 113 yards receiving. Tarian York, 7 total tackles. Again, Auburn, they were 0 of 13 on third down and 0 and 2 on fourth down. Texas A&M was 3 of 14 on third down. They didn't go for it on fourth down. Texas A&M was penalized heavily. Auburn played well enough to win defensively. They couldn't muster. It was a defensive battle. It was ugly. Auburn 3-2 overall, 0-2 in SEC play. Texas A&M 4-0 overall, 4-0 overall, 1-0 in SEC play. Again, as we follow the bouncing ball. Number 17, Alabama beat number 5, Georgia at the time, 24-21. Alabama was up 24-14, held on to win. Kirby Smart now, I think, is 1-10 or 1-9 against Alabama. And of course, Alabama fans have now climbed down from the ledge. For Alabama, Ty Simpson was 24-38, 276 yards, 2 touchdowns. More importantly, no picks. Jam Miller, 16 carries, 46 yards rushing. Alabama receiving, Isaiah Horton, 5 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. Bray Hubbard, 9 total tackles. For Georgia, Gunnar Stockton, 13 of 20, 130 yards, a touchdown, no picks. Chancey Bowens, 12 catches, 119 yards, a touchdown. Colby Young, 4 catches, 59 yards, and a touch. CJ Allen, their leading tackler. When you look at the team stats, Georgia turned it over once, which hurt. Georgia won the rushing battle. Alabama won the passing battle. But Alabama was 13 and 19 on third down, which will not make Kirby Smart happy. If you want to look at it, just look at that. They were 13 and 19 on third down. Georgia was 2 of 8. Well, that's basically what did Georgia in. Both teams are 3 and 1 overall. Alabama 1 and 0 in the SEC. Georgia 1 and 1 in the SEC. Again, as we go down the list, number 13, Ole Miss with a huge win over 4th-ranked LSU, 24-19. Ole Miss was up. LSU came back. Ole Miss had to hold on, but a huge win for that particular program. For LSU, Garrett Nussmeier, 21 of 34, 197 yards, a touchdown, a pick. LSU collectively running the football 21 times, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Not good. Xavier Thomas for LSU, 3 catches, 63 yards. LSU's defense, AJ Halsey, 13 total tackles. For Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss, 23 of 39, 314 yards, a touchdown, a pick. Kawan Lacey, 23 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Ole Miss receiving, Caden Lee, 4 catches for 70 yards and a touch. Suntarine Perkins, 7 total tackles. You go to the team stats. Even though Ole Miss turned it over twice, LSU once. Really, the difference in the game for me was 2 things. Ole Miss outrushing LSU 170 to 59. LSU was 2 of 11 on third down. Ole Miss 8 of 16. LSU 4 and 1, 1 and 1 in the SEC. Ole Miss 5 and 0 overall, 3 and 0 in the SEC. Then one of the big ones, number 3 Penn State had to battle back against number 6 Oregon at the time. Final in 2 overtimes, Oregon 30, Penn State 24. I'll say this in the second overtime, when Oregon scored and then missed a 2-point conversion. Penn State got the ball in the second overtime. When you have the 2 running backs that you have, why are you throwing the fucking ball on first down? Makes no sense. None. But Oregon gets the big win on the road in the whiteout. For Oregon, Dante Moore, 29 of 39, 248 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. De'Aaron Hill Jr., 10 carries, 82 yards, leading rusher for Oregon. Oregon receiving, Decorian Moore, 7 catches, 89 yards. Leading tackler was Bryson Betcher, 12 total tackles. Penn State, Juilliard, 14 to 25, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Katron Allen, 12 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown. Nicholas Singleton, 11 carries, 21 yards. Penn State receiving, Devontae Ross, 4 catches, 48 yards, 2 touchdowns. Amari Campbell, 15 total touchdowns. Penn State had the 1 turnover, obviously, in the overtime. That hurt. Penn State lost the rushing and lost the passing. They were both about the same on third down and on fourth down. But again, you throw the interception in overtime. Cincinnati and Denver had gotten underway. Oregon's 5 and 0 overall, 2 and 0 in the Big Ten. Penn State 3 and 1 overall, 0 and 1 in the Big Ten. Number one, Ohio State took care of business at Washington. They won 24-6. Defensive battle throughout. Tough road win. Julian Sayin for Ohio State, 22 of 28, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, and more importantly, no picks. Bo Jackson, not related to the Bo Jackson, 17 carries, 80 yards rushing. For Ohio State receiving, Jeremiah Smith, 8 catches, 81 yards and a touchdown. Caden Curry, 11 total tackles. For Washington, they Damon Williams Jr., 18 of 22, 173 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Jonah Coleman, 13 carries, 70 yards. Desmond Roebuck, 4 catches for 58 yards receiving. Alex McLaughlin, 13 total tackles for Washington. We go to the team stats. Washington lost the rushing battle, the passing battle. They were 1 of 11 on third down. Ohio State was 6 of 10. Difference in the game. Ohio State goes to 4-0 overall, 1-0 in the Big Ten. Washington now 3-1, 0-1 in the Big Ten. Again, coming up at 8:30 on the Cole County Network, Patterson Avenue Fanatics. Go check them out. And then last Friday, number 8 Florida State at the time loses to Virginia in 2 overtimes. Again, taking an opponent lightly, I believe. Florida State, Tommy Castellanos, 18 of 32, 254 yards, a touchdown, but he threw 2 picks. He was also the leading rusher, 14 carries, 78 yards and a touchdown. Deuce Robinson, 9 catches, 147 yards receiving and a touch. Earl Little Jr., 13 total tackles. For Virginia, Chandler Morris, up and down, 26 of 35, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw 3 picks. Jamari Taylor, 27 carries, 99 yards and a touch. Trell Harris, 3 catches, 45 yards. Virginia defensively, Devin Neal, 12 total tackles. We go to the team stats. Both teams turned it over 3 times. In the yardage category, they were even. Third downs, they were even. Fourth downs, they were even. It's just Virginia made the plays in overtime when they needed them. Florida State did not. So Florida State 3-1 overall, 0-1 in the ACC. Virginia surprising people, 4-1 overall, 2-0 in the ACC. And then Arizona State beat number 24 TCU at the time, 27-24. Good game, competitive. For TCU, Josh Hoover, 20 of 32 for 242 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 picks. Collectively, TCU ran the ball for 25 times for 10 yards and 3 touchdowns. It didn't help the fact that Josh Hoover was sacked a lot. That factored into it. Leading receiver for TCU, Joseph Manjack IV, 6 catches, 83 yards. Caleb Elarms Orr, 13 total tackles for TCU. Arizona State, Sam Levitt, efficient, 27 of 39, 291, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Malik Brown, 21 carries, 131 yards, leading rusher. Jordan Tyson, 8 catches, 126 yards, and 2 touchdowns, receiving. Miles Rouser, 10 total tackles. When we go to the team stats, TCU turned it over 3 times to Arizona State's 1. Arizona State outrushed TCU 207-10. Difference in the ballgame. TCU now 3-1 overall, 0-1 in the Big 12. Arizona State 4-1 overall, 2-0 in the Big 12. I'm just going to take a mini break, and then I will be back to run down week number 6 of the college football season, and I will make my pick. Who gets the finger this week for my game of the week, which is Miami and Florida State. So that's coming up. So I will be back in a couple of minutes. And we're back. So let's go through week number 6. We'll go down the top 25 matchups. And I'm just going to go as they're happening this week. Number 23, BYU taking on West Virginia. BYU 4-0 overall, 2-3 West Virginia. BYU favored by 18.5. West Virginia, not a good football team. Seems like a little bit too much for BYU to cover, but BYU still going to win the game. I'll go BYU 34, West Virginia 20. That game's on ESPN at 10:30 at night, Eastern Standard Time. Saturday, 12 p.m. on ABC, number Kentucky 2-2 overall, taking on number 12 Georgia 3-1 overall. Georgia favored by 20.5. Kentucky's going to be in trouble this game, I believe. I'm going to go Georgia 41, Kentucky 17. 12 p.m. on ESPN2, number 14 Iowa State taking on Cincinnati in Cincinnati. This is interesting. Cincinnati's favored by 1.5. Somebody knows something. I don't know if there was an injury that just happened. This seems odd. They're showing Cincinnati a lot of respect. It might be closer than the experts think, but I've got Iowa State 30, Cincinnati 21. 12 p.m. on Fox. Wisconsin travels to take on number 20 Michigan. Wisconsin 2-2, Michigan 3-1. Michigan favored by 16.5. I don't like what I'm seeing out of this Wisconsin team. I'll go Michigan 35, Wisconsin 17. 12 p.m. on the Big Ten Network, number 22 Illinois at 4-1 travels to take on Purdue at 2-2. Illinois favored by 9.5. You expect a letdown here after beating USC. I think maybe Illinois learned their lesson against Indiana. I'll go Illinois 38, Purdue 20. 3:30 p.m. on CBS, number 7 Penn State at 3-1 travels to take on lowly UCLA at 0-4. Penn State favored by 26.5. When the spread's this high, Penn State never covers. Penn State will win. I don't know if they cover or not. I'm going to go Penn State 42, UCLA 17. 3:30 p.m. on ESPN at number 9, Texas at 3-1, taking on my Gators at 1-3. Texas favored by 6.5. Again, I don't like what I'm seeing out of my Gators. Both teams have had the bye week to prepare. I still think Texas will probably roll. I'm going to go Texas 34, Florida 20. 3:30 p.m. on ABC, number 16 Vanderbilt 5-0 at number 10 Alabama at 3-1. Alabama favored by 10.5. Not showing Vanderbilt a lot of respect there. I think it'll be competitive for a while. Alabama learned their lesson against Florida State. I'm going to go Alabama 38, Vanderbilt 27. 3:30 p.m. on NBC and Peacock. 3-1 Boise State traveling to take on number 21 Notre Dame at 2-2. Notre Dame favored by 19.5. Notre Dame seems like they put it all together now. I'm going to go Notre Dame 44, Boise State 20. 3:30 p.m. on ESPN2, number 24 Virginia at 4-1, taking on Louisville at 4-0. Louisville favored by 7.5. Virginia coming off the big win against Florida, but that was at home. I'm going to go Louisville 30, Virginia 21. 4 p.m. on the SEC Network, 1-3 Kent traveling to take on number 5 Oklahoma at 4-0. Oklahoma's favored by 45.5. I normally don't do this, but I don't think Kent's going to score. I'm going to go Oklahoma 56, Kent State nothing. 7 p.m. on ESPN, a sneaky good game. Number 11, Texas Tech 4-0, traveling to take on Houston at 4-0. Texas Tech is favored by 10.5. Texas Tech's defense is no joke. I know Houston is having a unexpectedly good year, but I'm going to go Texas Tech 37, Houston 17. 7:30 p.m. on NBC and Peacock. Minnesota at 3-1 travels to take on number 1 Ohio State 4-0. Ohio State favored by 23.5. Don't know if Ohio State will cover. Minnesota will probably try to run the ball and control the clock, but I'm still going to go Ohio State 35, Minnesota 17. 7:30 p.m. on the SEC Network, another sneaky good one. Mississippi State at 4-1, traveling to take on number 6 Texas A&M at 4-0. Texas A&M favored by 14.5. I'm liking what I see out of Mississippi State. Texas A&M coming off that great defensive battle against Auburn. I'll go Texas A&M 27, Mississippi State 23. And we come to the game of the week for me. 7:30 p.m. on ABC, my game of the week. Number 3 Miami, 4-0, traveling to take on number 18 Florida State, 3-1. Miami's favored by 4.5. I've gone back and forth on this the last couple days. Obviously, Florida State coming off the loss to Virginia. Miami had the bye week. I believe they had the bye week. Yes, they had the bye week. I get it. Like I said, I've gone back and forth on this all week. But with all that being said, the way college football has gone this year, brings me to another edition of Who Gets the Finger. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm calling for the upset. That's right. I believe Florida State will bounce back. It's at home. It's against your main rival. The place will be rocking. I know Florida State lost to Virginia. I know Miami's coming off the bye week. I don't care. The way college football's gone this year, Florida State, ladies and gentlemen, you get the finger this week. And I've got to pull it up. And I'm missing it. Or is it? It's here somewhere. Yes, Florida State, you get the finger. Florida State wins the game 27-24. Hope everybody enjoys the college football action this weekend. We're at week 6 already. Holy crap. It goes by like that. It really does. Football season just it goes by like that. I want to thank everybody who tunes in live. Thank everybody that checks me out. Cole County Entertainment Network, Student Body Right. Right now, I think the Patterson Avenue Fanatics are also on. Go check them out. They'll be talking about the Eagles, probably getting some more stuff. But yes, I'm calling for the upset. Florida State will beat Miami this week. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's just a gut feeling. I will see everybody tomorrow at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Cole County Entertainment Network. The voice of the Flyers, Jim Jackson, will be on with me at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Hockey fast approaching. I'll be picking his brain about not only the Flyers, we'll go around the league, who he thinks is going to be the favorites, who he thinks might make the playoffs, and who we think might be on the rise, and who's going to flounder. So, with all that being said, It's 10-3 at the half to the Dolphins over the Jets in a barn burner. And right now, it looks like the Bengals are up on the Broncos. 3-0. With all that being said, have a great night, everybody, and I'll see everybody tomorrow.
Under the lights, the crowd ignites. Roar of the field burning bright. Shadows clash in the fading night. Student body rise, student body fight. Feel the surge, feel the might. Run the play under the blue spotlight. Cleats on the turf, hearts in